There will always be a time when you would be too unfit to play, but sometimes we just wish that we could be a little more of them. So today, we are talking about 7 football players who retired too early. At number 7, we have Eric Cantona. The average Manchester United fan is probably out of superlatives when it comes to describing Eric Cantona. The enigmatic Frenchman is without a doubt one of the club's most influential players, the trigger for the club's transformation from a club that occasionally won an FA or League Cup to the one that has won multiple Premier League titles and a dominant team in English football. In November 1992, the footballer turned actor moved to Old Trafford for £1.2 million from Leeds United, where he led United to 4 Premier League wins and 2 FA Cup victories. He was also named PFA Players Player of the Year award, FWA Footballer of the Year, and Sir Matt Busby Player of the Year, among other accolades. Cantona, ever the rebel, surprised the world when after 4.5 great years, he ended his career prematurely in June 1997. Cantona was only 30 years old at the time, and there was little doubt that he had more to offer if he hadn't hung up his boots. On the other hand, his legacy goes on, with United fans shouting his name week after week. Well, I believe that he could have gone for a few more years, and it would have been an absolute pleasure to see him on the field, showing the young generation what a legend he is. Moving on to number 6, we have Patrick Kluivert. After bursting onto the scene with Ajax in the mid-90s, the Dutch international was one of the most coveted strikers on the planet. Kluivert made his mark in Europe when he scored the game-winning goal for Ajax against AC Milan in the 1995 Championships League final. After scoring 39 goals in 70 league games for Ajax, he moved to Milan 2 years later, but only stayed in Italy for a year before joining Barcelona. Kluivert established his worth in front of goal once more in La Liga, becoming a hero at the Camp Nou. Despite spending 6 years at Barca, he only managed to win 1 trophy, La Liga, at the end of his first season, sharing the turbulent time for the club. Kluivert, who also scored 40 goals for his country, went on to play for Newcastle United under Sir Bobby Robson. Even though he was only 28, he lacked the power and first touch that he had in his early years. He went on to play for Valencia, PSV Eindhoven, and Lille until retiring in 2008 at the age of 32. Number 5, we got Marco van Basten. Kluivert was regarded as the heir apparent to Van Basten, the Dutch striker who is rightfully considered one of the game's all-time greats. Van Basten possessed the technical ability, strength and speed, and was a superb penalty kick and free kick taker. He was born in Utrecht and played at Ajax, where he scored 128 goals in 133 league games and won 3 Eredivisie titles. In 1987, Van Basten joined AC Milan, where he formed a legendary Dutch trio with Frank Rijkaard and Ruud Gullit. He won 3 Series A titles, 2 European Cups, and 2 Supercoppa Italiana during his time there. Van Basten, a 3-time Ballon d'Or winner, also led Holland to victory in the 1988 European Championship, where he scored an incredible volley against the Soviet Union in the final. However, a succession of severe ankle injuries ended his stellar but brief career, and he retired at the age of 28. Now, what can we say? It could only be considered that the king and the heir both retired too soon. There could be 2 things only. It could be a curse that will go down to every player, or just mere coincidence. And I'm placing my bet on the coincidence because that's more likely to be accurate, and the other one is just something I made up. On number 4, we got Brian Laudrup. Laudrup, the younger brother of Barcelona legend Michael, won 3 titles in 3 different nations while playing for Bayern Munich, Fiorentina, and Ajax, among others. He also won 3 Scottish crowns in succession with Glasgow Rangers, including a shock triumph for Denmark in the 1992 European Championship. Laudrup was a creative and elegant footballer who was recognized for his speed and superb vision, as well as scoring a lot of goals, most notably at Ibrox, where he's still remembered as a hero by Rangers fans. Although his brother was more well-known as a footballer, Laudrup's abilities were undeniable. Laudrup was signed by Bayern Munich in 1989, after being snatched up by unfashionable German club Bayer Erdingen. He subsequently spent a season with Fiorentina before joining Rangers in 1994. After a successful 4 years in Scotland, he moved to Chelsea, where he was dissatisfied with then manager Gianluca Vialli's rotation strategy. Laudrup, who was a legend at his first club Brøndby, had a brief stint at arch rivals FC Copenhagen before completing his career at the age of 31 after 2 years with Ajax. On number 3, we present you with Jamie Carragher. Carragher is well known for being a Liverpool legend, although his international career pales in comparison to his club career. Over the course of a 17-year career with the club, he made over 750 appearances, although his time with England was insignificant for a variety of reasons. Carragher departed from international action at the age of 29 after having little impact on a number of major tournament squads. Rio Ferdinand and John Terry stayed ahead of the former Liverpool defender in the pecking order, so he opted to retire early to concentrate only on his club career. Despite the fact that Carragher failed to bring the Reds a Premier League title, he will never forget his time at the club. It would have been a much better retirement if he could have been able to get that title. Just that one thing would have made this retirement much more worth it. Moving on number 2, we have Alan Shearer. The former Newcastle and Blackburn striker, like Carragher, departed from international football at the age of 29. Shearer did so shortly after England's disappointing performance at the 2000 European Championships. The Newcastle great's retirement from club football at the age of 35 demonstrates how he may have retired from the Three Lions too soon. Shearer's presence could have aided England's subsequent dismal major tournament performances in the early 2000s, since he continued to be a significant goal-scoring danger between international and club retirement. I know many of you will say that he was already 35 and there would not be any other time to retire. But the thing is that you don't understand that there was nothing wrong with this game. He just had a rough patch, and that rough patch was so dark that he decided to quit. His fans were disappointed, and they even appealed to him to come back from retirement, but that was something that didn't happen. It would have been so great if that rough patch didn't happen. We could just sit here and wish and imagine that there was some way that we could have seen him play for a little longer. Maybe in a parallel universe, but as there is no way to go there, we can just think of one thing. Whatever time we had, it was the best. So, whose retirement was an absolute disappointment? A retirement that no one saw coming. The most shocking retirement that no one wanted, even that player didn't want this to happen. On number 1, we have Zinedine Zidane. This is one player that you must have been waiting for, so here you go. There are few more dramatic ways to end your career than being sent off in the World Cup final for a headbutt. In 2006, a blood clot in Zidane's head forced him to retire from football for both club and country. Any mention of the French great conjures up visions of that infamous moments in the minds of younger football fans. And this does him no favors. The former Real Madrid and Juventus midfielder is primarily considered as one of the best players of his time, but his retirement left supporters wondering what may have been in his later years. When you consider Zidane's age, hanging up his boots at the age of 34 may seem like a realistic option, but the fact that he did so soon after a dramatic finale to the 2006 World Cup raises questions about what may have been. Sometimes even I wonder how crazy it would have been if that incident didn't happen. It would have been so crazy, but it is what it is. You can't change it. Now you tell us down in the comments which of these players you admire the most. This is all for today, but as there is always something more to learn about football, here are some videos you can see. On the left, we have 8 richest football players of all time, and on the right, we have 7 greatest duos ever in football history. I look forward to seeing you there. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye-bye.